The Stanley Cup playoffs have officially come to a close, and the NBA is soon to follow suit.
But one NAIT team is still practicing away. Let's go to Tyler Smith with more.
It's a season of uncertainty for many college athletes in a year that no one anticipated, as there are still many unknowns in the ACAC sports world. With many NAIT teams sidelined, the NAIT men's hockey team is gearing up for whichever decision may come. The NAIT men's hockey team is back to full practices in hopes of a positive decision come middle of October. Being one of NAIT's most prolific programs with 16 ACAC championships, new bench boss Coach Fellnermeyer is making sure his players will be physically ready to start the possible season.
I think basically he really wants us to just kind of approach it like you would any other season and still show up to practice and still do your workouts and everything like that and take it seriously, because at the end of the day, we still could be playing a season coming up. We don't really know when.
Although a possible season has players' hopes high, rules will be put in place with arena spectators maxing out at 100 and masks are required upon entry into the building. These rules will continue to be enforced all around NAIT's campus. 9 NAIT teams are currently on standby, with some practicing and others holding off. One NAIT basketball athlete is reaching new heights in his career and life goals. With the fall season being up in the air and not guaranteed for the players or coaches, David Udo has more.
Sean Clancy was arguably the most skilled player on the NAIT men's basketball team last year, winning the ACAC North Player of the Year award, the CCAA All-Canadian, while averaging 26.6 points per game. Making the decision to move from the States to Canada to play basketball proved to be a success.
For my first time being out of the country, being out of the States and playing ball, definitely a good experience and a wonderful time while I was up there.
It is still very unclear if the season will reopen for NAIT or any other college teams looking to play this year.
So we're practicing right now. We started practicing after Labor Day. We're in the gym 3 days a week right now. A couple times a week we're doing off-court stuff, just conditioning like after practice. And
due to the unforeseen COVID-19 pandemic, Sean's plans for the summer came to a halt.
COVID put a stop to my whole summer. Just off of the season playing in NAIT, I had multiple people like reaching out to me.
Sean Clancy had a breathtaking individual run for NAIT last year. What he planned to do in the future was cut short by the COVID-19 pandemic, but his plans are still very much in sight. As for the NAIT team, they're hoping for a season restart this season and to chase that ACAC championship. I'm David Udo, NAIT NewsWatch Calgary.
Another playoffs has come and went, even though this particular year may contain a forever asterisk beside it.
One of those things, where it's so cool they were able to pull it off, and I was skeptical that this would ever happen, so I don't want to complain too much, but...
With 0 positive cases from almost 35,000 tests inside the bubble, the NHL certainly won't have much to complain about either.
The playoffs are part of what makes it great. Is there's so much excitement around the games. The buildings are going. Speaking with the guys, it was a little different this year.
Managing risks, adhering to protocols, and following medical advice were the ultimate keys to a successful NHL bubble, which crowned the Tampa Bay Lightning the 2020 Stanley Cup champions. As the season of COVID golf comes to a close, golf courses were right where they needed to be as a thriving industry throughout the summer of the pandemic. Even with golf courses getting the go-ahead, new restrictions and rules were put in place. These included golfers prohibited from touching the pin or raking the sand traps to avoid any sort of transmission during play.
When you're in a pandemic, you're worried about how your staff, your department heads, and everybody downwards is going to handle every scenario, and especially with COVID, I found everybody's got a different level of comfort.
Different comfort zones led to many different answers and outcomes, but for James and the Leduc Golf Course, overall profit numbers were even more successful than previous seasons. After a very now that golf and summer sports are slowly ending, Winter and snow is on the horizon, and that means gearing up for another season of snow sports. After a very successful skateboarding season, Rumor Board Shop is ready to take on the winter snowboarding season amid the pandemic. Complications around other winter sports, including hockey, volleyball, and basketball leagues, has drawn new interest in skiing and snowboarding for the Edmonton area.
But I'm excited to, as everyone is, to get outside during the winter time. I feel like that's going to be a big deal, is like, how do we get outside like everyone did in the summertime, but do it in the winter? So
really anticipating a lot of more new customers and even the more frequent customers coming in and upgrading all their stuff.
A fast approaching season is promising for Rumor and ski hills in the area.